Hey guys, in today's video, I want to go over with you some ways that you can crush your fear of the camera. Fear is probably the number one obstacle that keeps people from starting a YouTube channel or being on any social media platform altogether. Maybe you've already started a channel, or maybe you're wanting to start a YouTube channel, but you just can't bring yourself to push that record button on your phone. You feel silly, you feel like people are probably going to think you're crazy, and you feel like you're just far from perfect. So what can you do to overcome these fears? That's what I want to help you with today. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here today, my name's Melissa and this is Money from Zero. So go ahead and click that like button and we'll get into it. The first tip that I want to give you today is to start with imagination. Do you ever remember being a kid when you were in school and you would come home and have homework and maybe you would pretend to be the teacher in front of an imaginary classroom and you could talk for hours out loud explaining your math problems, going over English and reading and all those different things. But in the process, you were learning as well. I remember doing this as a kid when I had homework and I had my little chalkboard and I would write the problem on the chalkboard and I would explain it out loud. And as I was doing this, it was sinking into my head and I would be learning as well. And it was fun. To overcome that fear, go back and be that kid again. Be that kid that was not afraid to imagine and to speak out loud in your room when you were by yourself. I just love this one channel. Her name is Jen Navarro, and she uses a wooden spoon and she clips her little lapel mic to it. And it's probably the most creative thing that I think I've seen on YouTube. And I thought, wow, this is really great. I mean, it's just her imagination to do that. And it just really brought me back to how I could use my imagination, especially for us that are over 40. You probably even remember having an imaginary friend. So just think of it as somebody who's like your best friend or your spouse or somebody that you can talk to very easily. And imagine that there's a problem that you need to explain a solution of how to fix it. Secondly, it takes self-confidence. This doesn't come easy for most of us, and if you're starting a YouTube channel, your confidence is going to grow. The Bible says that if you have faith the size of a grain of mustard seed, then you can move a mountain. So concentrate and focus on your why. What is the reason you want to create a YouTube channel? What is the purpose that God has created you for? And most people's why is that they just want to help other people. To grow your confidence behind the camera, it just takes practice. If you're extremely insecure behind the camera, then start in front of the mirror. And this ties in with my last point, and we'll get there in just a minute. But looking in the mirror and talking is one of the best ways that you can look at yourself, see how your expressions are, see how you come across and how you feel about what you're saying, and then you can make any changes that you need to. Make sure that your facial expression matches what you're trying to say. Because if you're excited about something and you feel confident and you've practiced and you know what you're going to say, then you're going to come across more confident to other people and they're going to believe what you say. So in choir at church, a lot of times, we have songs that are upbeat, songs that are slower and worshipful, and people need to match their expression with what they're saying or what they're singing. Because if you do that, the people that are watching are going to believe you and they're going to have confidence in what you're telling them. If you don't believe what you're saying, how can you expect other people to believe it? Everybody that starts a YouTube channel feels nervous at first and they lack the confidence in the very beginning. But my mom always said that practice makes perfect. And she always said that you can do anything that you want to if you want to bad enough. Remember that your why can overcome your fear. And when your confidence increases, it increases your level of comfort. And when you believe what you're saying, other people are going to believe you as well. My third tip is to start small. If you're afraid of making a long form video, then make a video that's 5 minutes or maybe just under 5 minutes long, or do it in sections. Do small. You can start with shorts if you needed to, and then you can work your way up to a longer form video as you gain your confidence and as you feel more comfortable behind the camera. However, on the other side, if you're a long-winded person, you might need to cut back some on your video. Lastly, to overcome your fear of the camera, this is my fourth tip: prepare and practice. When you're prepared for anything, it makes you less nervous. It's just like studying for a test. Like if you study for a test, you know you can go into that test and take it with more confidence and feel like you're going to pass than if you don't study for the test and then you're anxious and you're worried and you're not really confident in what you know. Plan what you're going to say. Either use bullet points or do it word for word from a script. I have to write it out word for word, and that's just what I do. But some people can talk from bullet points a lot easier, and they can just kind of flow with it. I guess it's my age. I find it harder to remember things, and I kind of have that brain fog sometimes, and I just I cannot do it unless I have my script right here in front of me. That it's really a crutch for me, honestly. You don't want to sound like you're reading word for word from the script, but you got to do whatever makes you comfortable. Before you record, practice. Practice it several times. Now, I usually record my practices, and I tend to record in sections, and it's rare that I can go through a whole section without having to repeat it a few times, and I end up deleting quite a bit. It gets easier, I promise. Every time you record a video, just make sure that you improve one thing. If you can do that with every video, and you add something new each time that you've improved, you're going to be an expert before you know it. The most important thing that you can take away from this video today, if you didn't hear anything else that I said, is that you just need to be you. You need to be real, and you need to be genuine. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you found something valuable, and if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you. And I pray that you're blessed and well, and we'll see you in the next one.